Hey, what's up? It's Jared, and I'm at Game 5 of Columbus Blue Jackets versus the Washington Capitals. Caps just won 4-3 in overtime, and you're watching Post to Post.
Hello and welcome to Post, the channel where we discuss all things hockey and all teams. We're not messing around here with the series. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for this series?
About a 6.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you'd be a little bit more excited than that. Why?
Well, and it's because of the last series for both teams. I was really excited for the Pittsburgh-Philadelphia series.
And it was a letdown.
And it was a letdown. So I don't want to be overshooting this time and get let down again.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little more excited for the Columbus
Washington
series. And I was more engaged in that because it was
close. It was great hockey.
And the first 4 games, the road team was winning, and it was really good. And they weren't lopsided like the Pittsburgh-Philly series.
Right.
So I'm not going to overshoot on this and say, oh, I'm so excited. I'm about a 6, and I hope I'm disappointed because it's really going to be an 8 or a 9. We'll see.
Well, last year, these two teams play each other, and I made a video previous to that series, just like this, about the same two teams, and I said, you know what? History has to change. These teams have met each other, including last year. Washington has only won once.
Out of what, 9 or 10 times, or
since they've played 10 series against each other since in their entire history. They've won one series against the Pittsburgh Penguins, and it was 1994.
Wow.
History has to change. The Boston Red Sox, the Chicago Blackhawks, all these teams that go so long without winning, the Boston Bruins as well. These teams that go so long without winning, and the curse has to be broken. History has to change. Eventually, statistically, Murphy's Law, Washington has to beat Pittsburgh.
Someday.
Is it? It has to be soon.
Is it in the next 2 weeks?
Oh my goodness.
That's the question.
So I said this the exact same paragraph last year, and I'm confident that the Washington Capitals are going to do this, but I'm so tired of having the conversation after the series is over with people, even prior to me making this channel, of there's no way I can pick Washington in the future. I can't do it. Here I am picking Washington. I never learn. So I'm one of those people, I guess. But it's pretty crazy, actually. Like, Washington has not been past the second round since 1998. They went to the finals that year and they lost.
That's crazy.
But
that's 20 years.
Considering how amazing of a regular season team they've been in the past 15 years, it's remarkable. It's statistically remarkable that they haven't been past the second round. Anyways, they have another chance this series. Like I said, 1-9 versus Pittsburgh in the playoffs. Just an atrocious stat there. The good news is, for Washington and Washington fans, Malkin and Hagelin are gone for the game 1. That's going to be tomorrow. So that's huge news. Everyone knows how big of a playoff performer Malkin is. So that's a big loss. In 2006, Pittsburgh won the series in 6 games. 5 of the 6 were decided by 1 goal, and 3 of them went to overtime. If you remember last year in 2017, Washington was down 3-1 in the series. They came back, forced to Game 7, and lost 2-0 in that final game. And you're okay? Are you getting choked up?
I'm getting all choked up, getting all verklempt.
Holtby just wasn't good enough in that last game last year. I think Holtby's going to be this deciding factor in this series. If Holtby plays like he did against Columbus, Washington will win this series. If Holtby plays like he did against Pittsburgh last year in the playoffs, Pittsburgh will win this series. In my opinion, it all comes down to Holtby.
Do you think starting Grubauer in the first 2 games of the last series was intentionally there to get Holtby going?
Are you saying that because you watched my video where I said...
No, I didn't watch it. I'm sorry. I should have watched your video.
We're not watching my videos when I make them. You're part of Post to Post. You got to watch the videos.
I can't watch them all. You make too many.
I teased at the fact that I wonder if Barry Trotz is a bit of an evil genius, and
really?
And maybe just did it. Obviously, it wasn't the reason why he did it, but just a small portion of the reason was to light a fire under Holtby.
Well, there. Great minds think alike.
I guess.
I honestly did not watch your video about that part.
Well, I'm glad
and it
that-
only occurred to me just now that
There you go.
they went on a terrific run when they put Holtby in, and he was
Won 4 games straight.
triggered.
He was triggered, yeah.
By something.
He was triggered.
And
so.
he's still got things to prove.
He does, yeah.
Yeah.
To me, he has to be elite in this series. He has to be. There's no question about it. One thing Pittsburgh has to do is shut down Washington's power play, because they're even against Columbus, a tremendously successful defensive team, they were running a clinic, and amazing, really.
You know that where the goalie is, Pittsburgh, where you're Matt Murray's standing, off to his right, there's a round dot. And on the round dot, there's a man that's going to be standing there, and he's got number 8 on the back of his jersey.
Can't touch him.
And you need to cover that man, because if you don't, he will fill your net.
Can't. There's a force field there. Can't touch him.
I'm going to be watching that, because Columbus, as much as Columbus did well in the series, every time that Washington had a power play, I was watching, and there he is, all by himself, nobody covering him, nobody doing anything, and he's just rifling them
They
in the
can't,
twine.
because they have to cover Oshie in the middle, because Washington they have the 2 specific plays
Yeah.
they do in the power play, the quick one-timer into Oshie in the middle, or they draw everyone in and then put the puck back to Carlson over to Ovechkin, and that's why it's so dangerous. It's
crazy.
incredibly dangerous. Although
crazy.
Pittsburgh did have a better power play percentage if you're looking at seasonal statistics. At this point in the playoffs, I don't think seasonal statistics really mean anything. So.
No. The only thing I've looked at is the head-to-head between the two teams this year, just
Yeah.
to give me a sense of how evenly matched they are. They're very evenly matched.
Very. Yeah.
I'll let you continue with your points.
Next, I just have Washington has to shut down Crosby and annoy Murray, because they have to get in front of him. They have to not be dirty.
No, they don't have to run him. They just have to get in his
head.
Get in his head.
Chirp him. Get in front of him. Chirp him. If he saves the puck, he covers the puck. Just stand there. Just look at him every time. Just stand there and look at him for a good 7 seconds, and then just skate away. After every whistle, just let him know that you're there and you mean business. And in Crosby, obviously, you're gonna have to shut him down. You're gonna have to play the Devontae Smith-Pelly line, or someone put a line out there to cover him and just shadow the crap out of him.
Yeah. If you let Sidney Crosby do what he wants to do, you're going to lose.
You're gonna lose. Yeah.
You're going to lose. It's just like that.
Here's something very bold. If Washington loses this series, I think Alexander Ovechkin should leave Washington.
I agree. I agree.
By his own decision.
If they can't put it together after all these years, when was the last time they didn't make the playoffs? It's been a long time, I think.
I honestly don't remember. I think it was prior to 2010.
Yeah. So, and Ovechkin's been with them since 06, 05, something like that?
06.
So,
it's been 12 years.
How many times does he do the Ray Bourque thing and fail and fail and fail like Ray Bourque did in Boston, and finally say, I got to go?
In the video last year, the series recap video from this Washington-Pittsburgh series, I suggested that he should go to Vegas. Now, this was long before the Vegas draft. This was long before anything Vegas took place. We just knew the team name, and we knew... I don't even think we knew what the jerseys were going to look like yet. We just knew the team name. I think that he should go to Vegas.
I think that'd be amazing.
They have the cap space. It's the perfect spot for him. He could just be a goal scorer there. He doesn't have to be a leader there. He could just be a goal scorer. I think a lot of the pressure in Washington of him being a leader and a goal scorer, I don't think it gets to him, because obviously, I mean, it's not like he's underperforming. He's clearly performing at the same level he's always performed. But I think maybe some of the guys on the rest of the team underperform because he's considered to be the leader and not anyone else.
I don't follow it closely, but I don't get any sense that there's dressing room drama with Ovechkin. I think he's just a happy-go-lucky warrior.
Absolutely.
And I think that would be a really good fit on almost any other team. Vegas would be one of them, where he could just go in there, slide into the culture that already exists, and just go out on the ice and pump pucks in the net.
I agree.
I think everybody would want to fit like that. Yeah.
On Pittsburgh's side of things, there's such a deep team. But they're playing a different Washington team. This isn't the same Washington team that was happened last year. A lot of players left Washington due to cap reasons. Alsner left. Williams was gone. It's just there's a carousel effect there. So this is going to be, I wouldn't say a typical Pittsburgh-Washington matchup. Pittsburgh should not go into this series and be thinking about the history of these two teams. I think they should
Oh,
treat this
definitely
team as
not.
a new team.
Yeah. And Pittsburgh's last 2 years of tremendous success, 2 cups, a juggernaut. Pittsburgh has some cracks in it this year.
A little bit, yeah.
Not a lot, but they have some cracks. And their cracks are being filled. Guys like Gensel are stepping up from rookie time now to full-time, full contributing members of the team. But I think they have some cracks. The cracks are on defense a little bit in net maybe, because I thought Murray had a terrible game in Game 2 in the previous series.
They don't have Fleury to
fall
fall back on.
And we talked about that before. In the season series between the two teams, they played 4 games against each other. Each team won twice. They're only 2 goals apart in the overall. Washington's a plus 20 on the year for goals for versus goals against. Pittsburgh's a plus 22. So Pittsburgh wins that if you count that, right? And that's a terrible stat to worry about. Washington got 5 more points, so they'll have home ice. They have 105 points to 100. These two teams are from the same division. And in fact, because all the wild card teams have already lost, this second round of all 4 series will be teams facing each other who are in the same division.
Well, the Nashville-Winnipeg series.
Yeah. And whether Toronto or Boston wins to play Tampa,
sorry,
they're in the same division.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, and Vegas and San Jose are in the same division. So these are teams that see each other a lot.
Right.
They already have a bit of a rivalry going just geographically. If, not counting Tampa, geographically is 2,000 miles. That's stupid, but that's another video we already did.
Yeah.
When you look at the overall between the two, some of the games have been more lopsided. There's a 3-2 win was pretty close on October 11th. A 4-1 win for the other team, in this case Washington, on November 10th. February 2nd, Pittsburgh over Washington, 7-4.
And Pittsburgh was a bit of a streaky team this year.
Yes, they were.
Portions, so
They had a bit of a slow start.
Not too concerned with the...
Yeah, and then a 3-1 win for Washington on April 1st, which is interesting because that's only a couple of weeks ago. So, but then again, when you're there and you've already made the playoffs and you've clinched, you're going to sit your big guys and you're going to not try that hard. So there's really no overwhelming favorite here. They're both 2-2.
You mentioned an interesting thing with the home ice. If this was round 1, I think home ice would play a huge factor. Pittsburgh is one of the best home teams in the league. Washington is very good at home as well. But if you look at the series, or round 1, Washington lost 2 games at home, and I think Pittsburgh lost 2 games at home as well. Yep. Philadelphia beat them twice in Pittsburgh, if I'm not mistaken. So that kind of throws my whole home ice argument kind of out the window.
Yeah.
I don't think any team has home ice advantage in this series. I think it just comes down to team versus team.
Yeah.
Do you have a prediction?
When we did our full prediction from before, I picked Philadelphia to go through.
It's true.
And I picked Washington to go through. I picked Washington to beat Philadelphia and go through to the 3rd round.
Okay.
I'm going to stay with that pick. I'm going to say with Washington beating Pittsburgh, it might take the whole thing to do it. But I think Washington knows what we know and what the viewers know. That if they don't do it now, they're not going to do it.
So you're going to go against all the history, all the statistics.
Just like you.
The curse,
Yep,
everything.
just like you.
You got to believe, right?
I'm going to take the bait and probably get shamed.
Yeah, we're those type of people. We got to take the bait.
You can't
It has to change. It has to change.
It has to change, and it has to change right now. Right now.
Or I'm never cheering for Washington again until the next time they play Pittsburgh next season.
Next season. Yeah.
My prediction is going to be Washington in 7. But that's more of a heart prediction, not a mind prediction.
Yeah, that's hard for me too. I tell you one thing, I'll be cheering hard for Washington. To do this, to get this done.
I just want to see Ovechkin win a cup.
I do too.
And I don't want to see Pittsburgh win another. At least not right now. Like, just wait a few years, would you?
Yeah, just back off. Come on.
Let some other teams win a cup or 2, and then you can come back. But right now, I just want to see another team win the cup. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah, I do too. And I like you. I'd like to see Ovechkin win a cup. Now, Washington's, let's say they go all the way from the East and they have an opponent that I like better, I'll be cheering for the opponent. I'll probably be cheering for Vegas, or I'll be cheering for Nashville, or certainly we'll be cheering for Winnipeg if it's Winnipeg. But still, if Washington does win the Stanley Cup and Ovi gets to hoist it over his head, that'll be a great moment in hockey.
I agree. Well said.
There we go.
We'll leave it at that then.
All right.
Unless you have anything else.
I'm good.
All right. Thanks, guys, for watching. I appreciate it. hope you can hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe if you're new, because there's going to be tons of videos coming out very soon. There's more series starting, and there's more videos that we're obviously filming for those, so they'll be releasing soon. So hope you can catch those out in the future, and we'll see you in the future. Adios.